Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Real Money Coach Show. Listen, I am glad that you are here. This is the first Tuesday in November. Can you believe it? We are already almost to the end of the year. November, December, boom, that's it. So it is the year's here. The year is here and it's done. Yeah, man, for real. I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But you guys know what we do. You know what we do on the Real Money Coach Show. Put in the chat where you're watching from. There's my man. He's first almost every time. Charles, thank you for tuning in all the way from California. You got a great show in store for you tonight. Who else is watching? If you are watching, put it in the chat so we know what part of the country or world that you're watching from. And I know y'all be watching, but I don't understand why y'all be so shy of putting in where you watching from. Because you text me after the show, you get on Facebook, we see that you're watching. Come on and join part of the conversation. Bring us some of that energy that you have because we love it. We love it. We love it. We absolutely love it. I do want to I just want to thank everyone. Thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the radio show, tuning into this live show that we have every Tuesday at 8 p.m. The radio show, as many of you know who you're local, airs at 7:30 on Saturday mornings on 100.9, which is Radio One Praise station here in Charlotte. And I do believe that is going to expand. I do believe that our audience is going to expand. As you also know, we also release it as a podcast. So after the show airs, it releases as a podcast. And so you can do that. You can find all those things by just searching for the Real Money Coach. I am so pleased. I'm so grateful that you can just Google that, right? You could Google Tony Jackson, the Real Money Coach, and you'll find all that stuff. Listen, we got all the way from the Virgin Islands today, and I wonder if that's my brother Papido, I think is his name. But all the way from the Virgin Islands, we love that. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. You're coming if you come through the Facebook group, the private group, you guys. It won't show your name, so I won't see what your name is. So if you just let us know as you're checking in, that would be lovely. Now, if you're coming through the regular Facebook or you're coming through LinkedIn or you're coming through the YouTube channel, your name will come through. But otherwise, if you come through the private Facebook group, it does handle it as private and just shows us Facebook user. Now, here's the thing. Janelle Perry, thank you. Thank you from the Queen City. She's checking in with us tonight. Love it. Love it. Thank you for checking in. And so a couple of things I want to let you know. If you're a homeowner or inspiring to be a homeowner, on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will be doing a workshop. Alice Martin, thank you for being here. I will be doing a workshop called The Truth Behind Mortgage Insurance, right? And so what we're going to be talking about, the myths of the PMI, private mortgage insurance, versus your mortgage really being protected. And so we're going to talk about mortgage protection. We're going to talk about how you can use mortgage protection to actually pay your house off early. So you can use it to protect you if something happens in terms of premature death, sickness, that type of thing, but also how that can be used to pay your house off early. So it's going to be a working type of webinar where I will actually go through an example. I haven't predetermined what that example is. We're going to be doing it on the fly. There it is. The key takeaways: understanding private mortgage insurance, obtaining financial security with mortgage protection, and early mortgage payoff. You can register. For that webinar at mymortgageprotection.net. mymortgageprotection.net, free. It'll take place on Zoom. No charge to anyone at all. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern time on tomorrow. So that is my quick announcement for today. And now I have the pleasure of bringing in my friend from way back in the day, all the way back when we first met in Kalamazoo. I'm gonna bring my good friend and my wife's bestie onto the stage in the person of the fabulous Michelle Mitchell. Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good.
You being
Uh,
extra tonight.
I'm being extra tonight. I am being extra tonight. You know why I'm being extra tonight, Michelle?
Why you being extra?
Because I had this weekend with my grandkids.
Oh my.
Yeah, we went up to Baltimore,
Oh, that's right.
and
It's Riley's
we
birthday.
had Riley's birthday. We
Yes.
took Cam with us,
Okay.
and of course Tony and Aaliyah met us in there. We did the Airbnb, so we all
Okay.
stayed together, and so we got a chance to see Trey and love
Oh,
on Trey and all that good stuff. So it was great, And Michelle,
awesome.
I was telling someone earlier today. I'm actually coaching a couple, doing some financial coaching with this couple, and it happens to be Tony and Aaliyah's best friend. And
Mhm.
I just told them they remind me so much of the Mitchells and the Jacksons, right?
Really?
Like just doing life together. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then, I told them if they will be blessed if they can get 30 plus years down the road
That's right.
and still have the relationship like the four of us have. So,
Yeah.
that's
I
what life
know.
is about. Life
It
That's what life
is.
is about, right?
It is.
The
We've
things
been
that
through a
you
lot
value,
together. Yeah.
the things that you value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so, one day I was asking this, I don't know where this came up, Michelle, but it came up. It's like um you if you could receive $1 million,
Hmm.
but you had to give up a friendship
Oh.
for it. Okay. You got $1 million,
Hmm.
but the friendship is gone.
Oh.
Hmm. So my wife said, I'll keep the friendship and give you up. She didn't say that. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, y'all.
Yeah. I don't believe she said that.
She didn't say that. We like, hey, we can earn $1 million, but we can't
We
get
can
those
earn a million
friendships back.
dollars. That's right.
Can't get those lifetime
Yeah.
friendships back. And so
Exactly.
yeah, I'm just grateful. And so yeah,
Yeah.
I am a little giddy tonight because um, you know, we just had a great weekend, and life is good and I have no complaints.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how's everybody on your end?
We doing good. Yeah.
Good.
Everybody here doing good. Tony working. Like he's still at work. I don't know what's
Must be
going
some great things happening in Kalamazoo, right? I remember, Michelle, I remember way back when, I think it might have been even when we were in college, there was something out, and it was like in a movie or a commercial, and it says, "Is there really a Kalamazoo, Michigan?"
on. Oh yeah.
I remember that, and of course that's where we all met, was at
Yeah,
Western in Kalamazoo,
that's right.
and so yeah, pretty cool that we come full circle, and you guys are still there in Kalamazoo,
Yeah.
and we're trying our best to get you here in Charlotte, and all
I'm
that good stuff.
coming. Promise.
There was a lot of good economic news this week. The first thing is that the Feds did not raise interest rates for
Yeah.
those who are paying attention to that. And of course, the stock market reacted favorably to that. Somebody says, I've been to Kalamazoo, right? Um, who is that? Put your name in there. I want to know who that is that said they've been to Kalamazoo. And so, that's good news. I think the economy, the stock market seems to be making some rebound. And so we're going into, of course, the retail part of the year,
Yes.
where,
It has
a
already
lot of
started.
it's already started.
Yeah.
Already started. The Christmas stuff is out before Halloween now and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. So, that's Stephen Hutchison. All right, there's Stephen Hutchison. Stephen is now, I believe Stephen is in Nashville area of Tennessee. And
Okay.
so got a chance to see Stephen at the All Black National Conference there in Atlanta not too long ago. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Any advice you want to give our business owners, Michelle, as we are approaching? But he's a tax strategist. That's different than a tax preparer, right?
That is true. It is
It is
different than a
very
tax
true.
preparer.
This is very true.
Absolutely. You need to know
Um,
who you hiring when you hire people.
Amen. Right. So you
Yes.
don't you don't have a business and go to H&R Black, Jackson Hewitt. I mean, I'm not
Right.
knocking those places, but they're not trained, they're not designed to handle the business.
Right.
And I think one of the things that many business owners want to know is how do I reduce my tax
Tax
liability?
liability. Hmm.
And oftentimes we talk about having a at-home business, some of these type of things. Because guess what, Michelle, you're paying that cell phone bill, you're paying the
Yep.
light bill, you're paying all these things anyway. You might as well start yourself a business so you can write some of that stuff off.
Exactly.
But any tips that you have for our viewers tonight as they're going? Well, we're almost midway through, Q4, as they're racing to the end of the year. Any
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yes, I do have thoughts.
I know you do
And how did you know, right? So
because I know what
tomorrow,
you do.
tomorrow we're doing our monthly financial roundtable, and tomorrow's topic is about assessing where you are,
Mm.
assessing where you are now, so that you can prepare for where you want to go. So some of the things like your income, your expenses, like what's your tax liability right now. If you haven't talked to your CPA, now's a perfect time to do that, so that we can put your tax uh liability reduction strategy in place now, instead of waiting until December 31st, because we're not working that day. I'm just
Listen,
saying.
we're not working that day.
No.
We're not working much at all between Christmas and New Year's
Exactly.
period, right? So
Exactly.
so get it
Yes.
together and be ready for that. So
Yeah. So
awesome.
assess where you are. Put your finger on the pulse of what has happened this year, and begin to think about where you want to go. So that's my advice.
Because where there's no vision, right? The people
Right.
perish.
The people
Business
perish.
perish,
The
right?
business perish.
So we have to
Yeah.
have those things in place. And even on a larger scale,
Hmm.
succession planning. I mean, that's why many,
Yes.
many of our businesses don't make it to the second, third. I mean, a lot will make it to the second generation, but
Hmm.
not to the third generation. And
Right.
so we want to make sure that we have a business succession plan in place,
Exactly.
so that we can make sure, because we always talking about generational wealth,
Yep.
right? And so you want to make sure that you have those things in place so that you can continue that business for generations.
Yes.
And
So
I
I think
told,
you got to have two things in place. You need the structure in place
mhm,
for the transfer, right? So you need to
right,
start building what that is. And you need the like the process in place to move you out.
yes, yeah.
So you got to have both.
So you gotta have the process.
Yep.
You got to know, well, and that begins with knowing what you want to happen.
It begins with the vision,
It begins
right?
with the vision because
Yeah.
you may be building your business to sell, not
Correct.
necessarily to pass on.
That
And
is
there's nothing
correct.
wrong with that. I mean, there's
No.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Mm-mm.
But know what your goal is
Yeah.
and have an exit plan, right?
Have your exit strategy in place.
Yeah.
And you need to be thinking about your exit strategy many years before the exit.
And
So,
then this is the thing where I come in is how are you going to fund that exit plan?
exactly. How are you going to fund
Okay.
the exit?
Because if I'm going to leave my business to Junebug, right? I'm making up a name, right? I'm going to leave it to Junebug. Junebug got to pay me for this business, right?
Right. But
Because I
also
can't leave it to Junebug and then I still need to make money. And if I
exactly.
haven't properly planned for my
Yeah.
retirement, now I'm in a predicament because I need this business to continue to provide for my living. How can I expect Junebug to leave his job and take this over and still pay me and pay him? Now,
Right.
this
And
is the same dynamic that we
mhm,
also have in our churches, that
yes,
we don't
that's
have
true.
succession planning in
That
place.
is true. And who's training Junebug to become the CEO?
Right.
Like, you just gonna take him off his job and he gonna run this business? No, it don't work that way.
Yeah. So
There's a
all
lot of
that
mindset shifts that need to happen in him so that he's ready to
for
take
it.
the reins. Yeah.
Now, and I teach this too, is just because Junebug takes over ownership of the business does not mean that he has to operate the
That
business.
is true, because he can hire a CEO.
Right.
Mhm.
But we just got to teach him
We gotta
what
teach him what
to
to do.
look for when
Yeah,
he's hiring someone to take the business, and
exactly.
what things that he needs to keep his eyes on
Yes.
so that that business doesn't get running around. So
Yeah,
that's a whole,
exactly. It's a
Michelle, that's a
whole
whole webinar. That's a
it
whole
really
webinar.
is.
That's a whole seminar that we need to
Yeah,
do. Probably we need to put that on the calendar because
we do.
there's a lot to that.
There's a lot
People
to
need to know.
unpack in that. Mhm.
So, Michelle, I don't know if you would like to introduce our guest tonight. She comes compliments of you.
Yes.
How would you like to do that? Would you like to
I
introduce
I
her?
will introduce our guest tonight,
All right, all
because
right.
I'm excited that she's here. Um, so today I wanna introduce to you Nicole Triplett. She is a dynamic woman here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I've told her this before, I'm a fangirl of hers. She's also one of our clients, and Nicole runs the Kalamazoo Black Wall Street, and she also is a winemaker with her own brand, the Rocher Collection, and she also runs Twine, the wine bar, which is a really cool spot here in Kalamazoo. And she's also a therapist. Like, she does so much. I don't even know how she fits it in a day. But I met Nicole probably in 2018 or 19. Um, because I participated in the first Black Expo in Kalamazoo, and Nicole ran it. So I am really excited that Nicole said yes to come on the show to share her experience being an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a winemaker, a mom, a grandma, like with the audience of the Real Money Coach. So come to the stage, Nicole.
Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for having me on. I would not have.
All righty.
What? Uh-oh. Oh, there you go. Welcome.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Thanks for having me on. That was a lovely introduction. I would never have said no to Michelle.
Oh, what happened?
Show up.
She's there. I hear. It's on your end, Tony Jackson.
It's on my end.
Yeah,
I told you.
I hear. She's fine.
It was like it's there, but no picture on my end. So
Oh, okay.
hopefully this thing will fix itself here. There
Yeah.
we go. There we
She's
go.
Hey, Nicole Parker.
So that's one of y'all homegirls I see.
That's
Yes.
right.
Probably just clapping her hands as well.
Yes.
So Nicole, I have a question for you. When you're giving somebody therapy, do you give them one of your glasses of wine to get them to loosen up so they start to talk a little bit more? Is that part of the therapy?
Do you know how many times I've gotten this question since I became a licensed wine?
I'm sure you have.
That might be a new concept, though. They're coming up with lots of different concepts surrounding marijuana and recreational use and restaurants and all this. Maybe we can combine it someday.
There you go. There you go. Awesome.
Therapy and
So,
wine.
Nicole, just thank you for taking the time to come out and you were on the radio show as well. A great interview. Learned a lot about you and just thoroughly impressed. And
Thank
so
I told you.
yeah, you told me, Michelle, we got to have Nicole on the show, and she was
Yes.
100% right. So for those who may have missed the radio show, would you mind just telling a little bit about you, a little bit about your background and who Nicole Triplett is?
Well, thanks for also having me on the radio show and the invite for that. And I'm with you. I'm really believing that you're going to grow, and anything I can do to help. You're a friend of Michelle, so you're a friend of mine as well. Uh, so my name is Nicole Triplett. I am the founder of Black Wall Street Kalamazoo. It was started in 2018. I thought that it was imperative for us to begin to leverage our individual platforms, voices, networks, different programmings, collaborate together to build thriving Black businesses within Kalamazoo. There is a lot of wealth here in this city, and I wanted us as African Americans in business to be able to take advantage of that. And what I found was during COVID, when those funds were getting ready to be dispersed, they were directed to us but couldn't be given to us. And so if you catch the difference between the two, this is a snapshot. It provides a snapshot of the larger economic issue that's been going on for years. Way back in what it was, it 1921, where Greenwood District, the Black Wall Street, where it was destroyed, and it was one of the wealthiest Black communities in the United States. So I wanted to see what we could do to make sure that there would be no excuses when these funds come around why they couldn't be funneled into our neighborhoods, into our businesses, and in turn into our families, so that we can create generational wealth. So that's what we are focused on, is creating that generational wealth, creating a pipeline of access for Black business owners in the city of Kalamazoo, the larger economic ecosystem. Our beta program is just growing, and we're gathering people from different states and different cities. So we won't just say only Kalamazoo, and just to create that pipeline to other critical resources so we can ensure the success of Black owned businesses. So that's what I've been doing majorly since 2018. 2006 is when I became a licensed psychologist. And so that was my first round of entrepreneurship, I would say. So I've been doing this thing for a long time here. But it's been a satisfying journey, and it keeps evolving into different things, I guess, as I go along and my purpose begins to widen and begins to change.
Yep.
And here I am being a winemaker. Now, that one was out the blue, becoming the first licensed female Black winemaker in Michigan.
Yep.
That is the final platform here, hopefully.
I don't know, Nicole. I mean, you're a serial entrepreneur. I don't know.
Is.
I don't know if it's gonna stop there, but
no.
So tell us a little bit, since you brought up the wine, we got to dig into this winery, right? And how did that come about? I mean, because people just don't wake up, one day and say, I'm gonna start a winery,
right?
Tell us how that came about.
It came about, I wanted to create an experience for my birthday. When you're in a small town and there is not a lot of diverse activities to do, you find yourself being creative and trying to create different experiences. And what do most people do? You have some type of drink, whether it's beer, cocktails, wine. So I wanted to create a wine for my birthday, and I created that experience. And when you're creating experiences, you share stories, you share a drink. And I know a lot of people feel like wine, I don't drink wine. But there's some type of sophistication to wine. And I found that there was an opportunity to create some diversity and a way to include many people in the wine industry. So I was just making an experience for my friends. And when the word started to spread, that entrepreneur spirit in me jumped out and said, sure, I can sell it to you. And it just really grew a life of its own, with different stores asking me if I sold it, because people would be going to look for it because they had got a friend that was at my house. And it just really turned into something where I was creating an opportunity, creating an experience, creating a space for Black winemakers, and learning how to do that along the way myself. Because obviously I don't have a history of winemaking. I don't own a vineyard. It's a fun journey. And I've been taking it as the opportunity to create some diversity in that space.
So what was it, is getting licensed or that type of thing? What kind of process is that? Because I'm sure that there's something that you have to do there.
You're going to definitely have the typical background checks. So they're going to ask you about your money. They're going to
Mhm.
criminal history. Then they are going to have you fill out an application about your plans, and you just have to go through that entire checklist about where you're going to be producing the wine from. And there are other ways that there's other pathways that a person can take as well. You can decide to just have a wine brand where you can connect with a winery that has already made the wine, and then they
Just
white
white label it.
yeah, or you can create the wine. So you want to decide kind of what space you want to hold in the wine industry. And then
And which space do you hold?
I'm a winemaker. I'm a licensed
Yeah,
winemaker.
she's
So
an actual winemaker.
Right. Yeah, she's not
yeah,
white labeling somebody
No.
else's grape juice, right? She's making her own, right?
Yeah.
So you got your own proprietary recipe, I would
Mhm.
imagine, and that type of thing, your own IP and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So what it is it's basically, winemaking, just fermenting grapes. So you can have a vineyard and do all do all the harvesting and everything yourself, or you can already have those grapes pressed down into juice, and you can get them flown in from many places in the world that sell and transport grapes. So the different ways that the winemakers blend is what makes them unique. So you might see like variations in different varietals of wines. However, you can also take grapes and add added flavors as well. So that's the space that I found myself to excel the most in. So we do have traditional varietals, but I also found myself in a space where what are people that are wanting to get into the bougie world of wine and to feel that upper classness, right? What are they looking to drink? They want to drink something that tastes good, and they want it to feel like it's very accessible. So not that I have to really know a lot about wine to drink it and have to understand how it tastes. So it's like, let me do a pineapple pear, let me do a strawberry watermelon. And then these things can also turn right over to be a cocktail. So you can add ice, some type of spritzer, you can add a mixer, and now you've turned it into a cocktail. So no matter what type of wine drinker you are, you'll find something either traditional, you'll find something that we make that is just special to us. But we have several type of wine cocktails that you can get in our tasting room. So things that you would drink at a bar, like wine espresso, wine, martinis, wine Long Islands. We have gummy bear wine shots. So no matter what type of wine drinker you are, you can go with your friend. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm not going to no winery. I'll catch up with y'all later." No, everyone can go. You can have your traditional glass, you can have your cocktail, you can have your slush, and everyone is at the table just enjoying wine in a different way with no judgment. It has really been a good time.
wow, wow. So
It's amazing.
talk to a little bit about the distribution and what are after you talk a little bit about your distribution channel. I want you, if you could, to address some of the challenges that you maybe have faced as a Black female in this industry. And I don't know if who it's dominated by, but I know who's not there. It's not us, right? So if you could talk a little bit about those challenges and how you had to overcome, if you could give an example of that, because I want somebody to be encouraged tonight. They might be in a business. It may not be wine, but it may be something else,
Mhm.
right? And they may be running up against the wall. They may be running up against challenges, and there might be somebody even tonight that's thinking about, giving up, throwing in the towel. Like, I've been doing this and I'm done. So I want them to be encouraged by your story and your success.
So distribution wise, I think that if you're not a winemaker, you still have to always know how your product is going to get out there, and you
Yeah.
have a team that helps you do it. So obviously with wine, you have to have a distributor, but also you can self-distribute. It's not that way with alcohol. It's not that way with other products, but you at least know how your product is going to, how it's going to get out there. Some of the biggest challenges that I've faced, I mean, let's just say that I can't remember the exact number, but maybe there's 8,700 wineries in the world. There's probably 14% owned by women and less than 1% owned by Black women. So is this space something new that that us Black women are creating and entering? Yes. So are there going to be unique challenges? Yes. Is it going to be impossible? No. If you look at your hardships as an opportunity to create something, this is an opportunity to create a pathway. This is an opportunity to create a system. I can make wine however I want to. Guess what? Because there's no one else that came before me, and we're moving into a new. No one else that came before me here. Now, don't get me wrong. I want nobody's putting us in the hate. You know. So, but what that means is we can create our own lane, and we can say, well, this is how we would do it. This is how our generation, how the culture now would create something. But you have to really believe in your product, no matter what your product is. Believe in it and say, okay, there might be a little resistance in what you're doing because you are the creator of it. You are the creator. So there is going to be some resistance, but take it as an opportunity to be able to create your own lane and create your own experiences, to create your own success. That's what an entrepreneur is. If you are not ready to do that, then you're not ready to be an entrepreneur, because what an entrepreneur is a person that's a problem solver. They're constantly looking for new ideas. They like doing their hard work. They believe in the risks that they're going to take. They believe in always learning more and looking for the what's next. So if that's you, then you're in the right space, but you definitely have to believe and change your perspective about the challenges that you're facing. Feel like you're the person that is supposed to be doing it, and know that that is true.
Well, and what you said is believing in your product, but I think also that belief in yourself, right? Belief in yourself that you are, like you said, you are the one, right? And just
you're gonna figure it out.
You're gonna figure it out. Yeah. That's what entrepreneurs do, right? They figure it out. You find a problem and you find a solution to that problem. You figure that problem out and you then bring that to the marketplace. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what's so you got your counseling business, you got the Black Wall Street going, you got your winery, right? And then you have the restaurant, or you have your gathering place where people can come and get this experience. And I love how you talk about the experience. I can tell that that's really important to you, is the experience that people have. So with all of that going on, what's next? What's next on the horizon for you? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh wow.
I don't normally ask that question either, Michelle.
No, you don't.
Oh man, so I get to be a first in this too. Okay. I mean, I really hope that my business is in a place where I'm planning the exit or the succession. I want to be able to say that I invested well, that I gave back as much as I could. That way the business can go on without me, and that I won't forever be in the hustle, because that is really what you want to do as an entrepreneur. You don't want to be creating another job for yourself. And I think that's what a lot of us do. We create jobs for ourselves, so we're constantly working. You can't take a vacation. You can't leave the post, right? You have to be there because you are all things. Now, in the beginning, that is normal and that is expected.
It's part of the grind in the beginning.
Right.
Yes.
But if I want to be there in 5 years, I hope that I'm not going to be in that position. And because I'm visioning that I will not be, and that I'm preparing, I'm working with Michelle. There's a lot of things that we feel that we can't afford, but sometimes we can't afford not to have that accountant, that bookkeeper, that someone that takes on a part of your business that's very important. So even if you can't afford to get a bookkeeper, you want to find at least one part of the business that you know is going to help you to scale off and offload that, and having a plan that because I offloaded that, I am going to be able to afford this. I'm going to be able to scale, and I'm going to be able to work myself out of this job. So in 5 years, I hope that I've invested my money well, and that my is able to run on my direction and not my work.
That's right.
There you go.
Yay,
There you
Nicole,
go.
she
That's
got
what
it.
I love. Listen, now here's the thing that I got to do because this is a great opportunity.
Oh man,
because my friend Michelle here has been faithful to the show and to our friendship and all these type of things, and we know that that's the driving force. That's what keeps us back coming here every Tuesday. But I want to take an opportunity right now, and I want you to tell the people audience, and I'm recording this and I'm going to cut some shorts and all kinds of stuff, but I want to know, what is it like to work with Mitchell Consulting? I want you to tell our audience what that experience has been like and what has it done for your business.
Well, working with Mitchell Consulting has been very easy. It definitely takes some of the load off of what you're doing day to day. One of the hardest things for anyone to manage in a business is their finances. And it's one of the most important things that you need to be able to be managing correctly. If you don't have someone that knows what they're doing to manage your finances, that can be the death of your business. It can be the best success, or it can be the detriment of your business. So,
Awesome.
so working with Mitchell Consulting is one of the best things that has happened to my business, because I've been able to kind of set that to the side and go to her with questions. I'll receive answers. If I need some strategy questions or concerns, hey, what should I do next? Hey, can I afford to do this? Sometimes you don't know what you can do. It's very important to have someone that you can consult about that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Because I know my friend is good at what she does. I mean, I know that. And so thank you for sharing that. So,
and we try to make it easy, because it can be stressful.
well, that's the first thing Nicole said. The first thing she said was working with Mitchell Consulting is easy.
Mm-hmm.
And and it should be, right? If it's difficult, if you have difficult working with somebody, then you probably ought to be working with someone else,
Right.
Because there's a disconnect somewhere, right? Either it's you or them or what have you. What were you gonna say, Nicole?
Are the comments cut on? Because someone just sent I'm looking at my computer over here, and someone's saying they can't make comments, but I don't know. If I just wanted to make sure that you're not missing your comments because it's not on or something. I don't know.
Oh, they should be able to make comments.
Yeah, they're on. I see some coming through, and I'm not sure if they're coming through your page. Maybe there's some tweak there.
Okay,
but we are seeing a few come through. If that person,
they might have to go to my page, maybe.
Yeah, if they have a comment though, and you got it, share it with us. What did they say?
Well, I can't make comments. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe we go to Michelle Mitchell's page through her link, then maybe that.
Yeah.
But just I didn't want to be missing your conversation,
Okay. Right. So we got a lot of people that are commenting. Matter of fact, about this is an awesome interview. We got my friend Tony Mitchell is talking about Kalamazoo in the house, right? So all love for Kalamazoo tonight. So
I said that I know you just brought up that I first started off with working with Michelle is easy. So I actually wanted to just speak a little bit on that. I think a lot of times when we try to hire, actually, let's just back up even a little bit more. Most of the African American businesses are not employee base. It's
A
just one.
solopreneur. Yep.
Yes.
We do try to hire. We need to really make sure that we're hiring people that, not just because they're our family, not because they're loyal. We have to really find people that know what they're doing and know the job. And sometimes that's a little costly. So that does add to the reason why I believe we don't have a high number of employees, because of that lack of capital. And that's
Mhm.
what we try to make sure that we're providing through our Black Entrepreneur Trading Academy Beta, which is our program that Michelle works with us on through Black Wall Street Kalamazoo. So yeah, we talk about things being easy, but it can only be easy if you make sure that you're hiring someone that knows what they're doing, not just because they're family, not because they're friends, not because they're loyal. You want to hope that you can find someone that has all of that, because it's way easier to trust people that you've known than to let
Right.
people that you don't know. But I think that we need to make sure that we're saying, don't just go hiring anybody. Make
Yeah.
sure you find someone that knows a job, or else that is going to be one of your biggest roadblocks for growth. If you don't, it takes a village to be an entrepreneur and for it to survive. And it's not always the village that you think it's going to be, like your friends, your town.
Right.
So if you got to get away from that thought right away.
Right away.
So
Yeah.
so with the Black Wall Street, what type of other program, you mentioned the beta programming? Are there other things that you're doing to support the entrepreneurs that are coming through there? And I understand, rumor has it that you may have purchased a building or something like that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So the beta program is a 5-month cohort-based program, and we take you through mindset, business structure, business finance, where Michelle is the instructor, business planning, marketing, and how to pitch your business. So
Mhm.
the remainder of the year, we still hang on to these entrepreneurs. We provide access to all of the instructors. We do weekly office hours so that they have any questions and need support. We're there for that. We connect them to all the resources. We, upon graduation, we give everyone that successfully graduates $5,000. And we've had
Mhm.
a very high success rate with graduation.
Awesome.
Yes.
We're going into our 4th year, so our cohort is 35 people strong. And that is just the people that we've handheld through the process for a year and that we've funded. So when we're talking about funding, we've funded about $202,000 throughout the years, in form of capital, because that is the biggest challenge that people are having, that access to capital, access to barrier-free capital. So, but
Right.
Mm,
it's important to not just give money, right? Because we have a historical um, perception of money, that we have not been taught how to handle money, deal with money, feel about money. All of these words are relevant with money, even
right.
though we even know
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it really is. All of that, because really the wealthiest people, they use money as a tool. We were never taught that.
We're
So
never taught it. Right.
we don't just give you money, we give you all of this support, this structure, and this education. And so that's why we believe that our program is valuable. It's also backed by Chase Bank, which, Chase Bank does not really just back anyone. It's hard
Right.
to
Oh yeah, they're
there.
not just throwing money out there all willy nilly, right? So they're
Right.
gonna make sure that it's right.
That
Well,
type of
that's awesome to provide that training, and then people can get some cash. They can get some
So they
capital,
know how to use the money
so they know how
properly.
to use it. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
And
all.
then and you didn't tell them about the pitch competition that you do at the expo. Yeah.
stuff. So at the Black Business Expo, what we do is we have those people, it's a requirement that they pitch their business.
It's a
So
requirement.
requirement. And some people don't like, I wasn't a person that just likes to get in front of crowds and talk. I'm still nervous about that. But guess what? When someone asks you about your business and there's an opportunity in front of you, you need to be on. So
Mhm.
at the expo, we have them pitch their business in front of everyone. I mean, it's not just one room where all you're doing is focusing on. It's what you would see in the big cities where everything is going on around you. Everybody's walking, they're shopping, and you're on the stage. You're pitching your business in front of everyone, and that person gets 5,000. So one person leaves our program with a total capital, unrestricted, no barriers, $10,000. So we're really pushing and having these businesses be moved to the next level. They're going to be living with capital. They're going to be living with the necessary documentation needed to secure funding. They're going to have a working knowledge of business, of their business direction, and a clear business path. So these are things that you're going to leave our program with. We want you to be bankable, scalable, attainable. We have so many goals of the program that sometimes it just excites me, because where would I have been if this program was there for me?
Exactly. Yeah.
But then there it is again, right? Knowing what the need is because of what you experienced, and now you're a provider. You are someone that is providing those skills that you wish you would have had easy access to, right? When you were coming through. And I think that's so important, because not only is that neat, but that's giving back. That's a form of giving back to the community. And you're obviously have been very successful at the endeavors that you've taken on, and you're just really just sharing that with other people. But they got to come right. I mean, I get that. Right? They got to come right. They got to finish the program. They got to go through these things so that they are loanable, that they are lendable, rather, and that they are bankable, and all these types of things that sometimes we hear our business is not ready for, because we've been taking money under the table, we've been doing this, that, and the other.
Yes.
That we're not ready for that.
And that's where I come in.
And that's where Michelle comes in, right? Because
we saw that during COVID, like businesses didn't have the proper documentation of their business in financial statements, so they couldn't get access to the capital that was being given out freely.
Right.
So Nicole brought me in, Nicole brought me in to help bridge that gap back then. So so it is a passion of Nicole's. Seriously.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm tickled at how well it's going and all your success. So as we're winding down here, as we're winding down to this 9 o'clock hour, it goes by so fast. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to speak to someone out there. What words of encouragement would you leave with the audience this evening?
I would say, if you are an entrepreneur or aspiring to be an entrepreneur, just be prepared that it is high risk. And I know I personally do know that I talk a lot about the risk, because sometimes things come in phases and everybody is like, oh, it's a fad now, be an entrepreneur, get a hustle, do this. You can have a hustle and you can make extra money on the side and you can have a job. All of this is needed. It's high risk, but it's also high reward. You can make millions or you can make nothing at all. But the earning potential of being your own boss and being in control of your time and having a business, it's very gratifying. If I had to give advice, I would say one of the things that I learned, waking up earlier. I will say having discipline, waking up early during the day. You have less distractions during that time. Before regular business hours open, before Facebook open. I don't know. Facebook don't close. Who am I kidding? But you'll get a lot of distractions after when 8 o'clock rolls around, 7 o'clock rolls around. And Michelle knows sometimes I'll be up at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yes.
I'll be getting it out there. But that is those are like power hours to get done what you're focused on without any distractions. And surround yourself by people that are going where you want to go.
Yes.
Going where you want to go. They can visualize you where you want to go. They're not bottling you to where they just see you at. Because one interesting statistic that we haven't talked about too is that we represent about 14%, I think, of the general population, and less than 2% of the businesses. all that really means is other people are controlling our wealth. Other people are controlling how
and
we
we're making a lot of other people rich.
Yes.
I mean, we really are,
We can-
and we need to circulate like those dollars in our own community. And,
Yes.
and that's important. And I know we have your contact information scrolling, but for the wine, they would go to where would they go for the wine, and then where would they go to for the Black Wall Street?
I do see that that's scrolling on the bottom of there, the RocheCollection.com. If you want to know more about Black Wall Street Kalamazoo, you can go to blackwallstreetkalamazoo.org. There are separate tags there. Black Wall Street Kalamazoo is the Black Business Directory. So any type of business that you're looking for, or if you would like to, and you want to support a Black owned business, you could go and look for that Black owned brand or service. If you want to be added, or if you want to be a part, you can go on there. If you would like to donate, there's a donate button there. Also, it tells you about our beta program, when the next applications will be opening, and it gives you more information and tutorials. Testimonials. I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
That's it.
Like
That's
power.
it. That's awesome. That's powerful. Very, very powerful. Well, congratulations again, Michelle. Any last comments? Anything you got to add? I'm done, man. It's like the Dr. Mike moment for me. I think it's just wonderful, and for me, let me just say, for me to have spent 4 years, 5 years, or whatever it was in Kalamazoo, and to see this and hear about this going on right now is pretty awesome, because I didn't hear of that. It wasn't there when
Right.
And
Right.
so that's an awesome thing to see happening. So congratulations, kudos to you, Nicole, Michelle, the other Nicole that I heard mentioned as well. Miss White looks like she's involved in it, and so it's great to see that. So Michelle, I'll let you have the is it Mr. or Ms.?
It's DiMarzio, and he is one of the success stories from the beta program.
Okay.
He
DiMarzio
has the cheesecake. He does the cheesecakes. And he went through the beta program, and his distribution channels are everywhere.
Awesome.
Yes.
First male graduate.
First male graduate. Yes.
Awesome.
So congratulations to DiMarzio. Like, he's
congratulations.
doing excellent.
So you get you a slice of cheesecake and a bottle of wine, and you good to go. Love it. Michelle, close us on out. So
I just want to say, just give some encouragement to any small business owner. Like, you can do it. Whatever the passion is you have in your heart, if you just get a few things in place, like some guardrails, some discipline, some visioning, knowing where you want to go, and get the right people in your corner, that's going to help support you to get to where you want to go, then that is key, especially in our community. We tend to shy away from asking the questions, but nobody taught us how to run a business.
Right.
Like, no one taught us this. So we've had to figure it out. So Nicole, myself, we've figured it out. So you need to be reaching out to us to ask us. We will happily share with you our experiences and the pitfalls that you can avoid. Because you're connected to us, you should be doing better. Because you're connected to us. Period.
And that is why we show up here every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
It's because we want to help other people get better, right?
Exactly.
And that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both. Michelle, next week is going to be Dave Smith. It's going to be our guest.
I'm in. Okay. Hey.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you so much. Everyone have a great night. Make sure you tune in next week. Catch the replay of this on YouTube. And also we'll have some shorts out there so you can get the tidbits of information. And with that, everybody have a good night. Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.